Обережно, двері зачиняються. Russia fucked with us, and now we're fucking with them. If we started it, the war would be over. The F16s might have already been here a few times. We don't have as much stockpiles as people think. That shit's expensive.
You were 18 years old.
Yes.
When you first came to Afghanistan.
Yeah. And I was, oh fuck, we're taking like the enemy's shooting at us. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, ah. The possibility that I killed somebody that day is very high. The new Republican Party is full of cowards. And you're either all the way in or you're not. They're savage, crazy, bloodthirsty killers, a lot of the Russians. So they're...
Hello, good peeps. This is Stapler. This is Speak and Drink, and this is interview with a foreigner. And today I'm gonna have an American dude here. He fought against Russians. He's been to Afghanistan. It's supposed to be pretty interesting. So watch this video. So why the hell are you here? Who are you? How old are you? Where are you from?
My name is Adriel, or I go by AJ. I'm from the United States. I'm from Boise, Idaho.
Idaho, okay.
And we call it the potato state.
Okay.
Kartoffelstadt.
Kartoffelstadt.
Yeah. So
that's a great state.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I came here to Ukraine to help fight against the Russian aggression. And I was in the Ukrainian military for about 4 or 5 months that year. I was deployed at one point to Donbass.
Okay.
I was in areas like near Izum, Sloviansk, Siversk, north of Siversk, Belhorivka, and Hergerivka, and Bakhmut. And I was in Lysychansk at one point.
Yes. If you compare Afghanistan and Ukraine, you saw shit there, you saw shit here. So how can you compare these two wars, you know, these two situations?
Here is much more dangerous. This is a real war. This is like a conventional war. So Afghanistan was counterinsurgency. So we weren't fighting an army because their army was defeated at the beginning of the war.
Yeah.
We were fighting against people, and you know, anybody could have been our enemy. So it was more dangerous in the sense that you're walking around knowing that there could be somebody in the crowd, you know, trying to kill you with a explosive device or RPG.
Yeah, right.
But we had the firepower edge because the Taliban didn't have really good weapons. But here, you know, the good thing about the front line is you know exactly where the Russians are, so you can see them, and you know you're surrounded by your guys. But here, the firepower edge, the Russians have artillery,
it's
airstrikes, drones,
yes. Everything. Yes.
Yes.
Why do you think Russia started this war?
Russia started this war because Putin knew that Ukraine had freedom and democracy. People were living better than the Russian people, and Russia, you know, they wanted their empire back, the old empire. The Russians were jealous of the Ukrainian freedom and democracy, and they knew it would only get worse, right? Russia wants Ukraine to be like Belarus. They want to control Ukrainians and it to be part of a greater empire.
But why do you think they cannot concentrate and focus on their economy inside the country?
Because Putin knows that in order to control his people, he has to have something to distract them.
You want to say that Russia cannot exist without Ukraine?
Not just without Ukraine, without war. Russia has always been at some type of war if you look at their history. And so
that's true, yes.
To distract the people, not all of them live shitty, okay? In St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Of course, yes, like big cities, yes.
But in general, most Russians are kept poor and stupid.
But listen, if you're saying that there are so many Russians, you know, that live like not in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, and they're poor and stupid, yes. They could have lived their usual lives, you know, without this war. There is no need to start this war.
No.
I'm talking about like simple people, you know, regular people. So for them, like, with the war, without the war, it fucking doesn't matter, yes? But still, like, Putin had to start this war. Yes. Just because show people that, like, they're strong, you know, they're powerful.
Yeah, Russia, they can't pick on a peer adversary. Like, the U.S., we won the Cold War, okay? Russia, you know, they couldn't even win in Afghanistan because of what we did. Russia has to try to flex its might. They did it with Georgia, they did it in Moldova. You know, in Belarus, they do it because Belarus only has 8-9 million people.
What would be happening if Russia hadn't begun this war? So, like, what would be going on right now in Russia? Like, within, I don't know, like a couple of years.
Russia, since the 2000s, since Putin took over, their economy's gotten better and their overall living. If they hadn't invaded, I guess they would still be status quo. Ukraine would probably be doing better in a sense because Ukraine was an up-and-coming country. They wanted to get into the European Union before Russia invaded.
Okay.
Everybody wants into the European Union because there's a reason. Yeah.
Did you think Russia would take over at the beginning of the full-scale invasion?
Yes, I thought that because I'm a military historian, a military information guy, just OSINT, open source intelligence. I don't actually do that, but like I enjoy reading about it. So
yeah, what are your thoughts?
I thought because America knows the Russian military capability. Now, do we know every jet and tank? Like, can we touch them and we see what's actually going on? No, but we know that they have them, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we don't know their capability if they're upgraded. At the beginning, the U.S. knew that Russia had soldiers on the border, but we couldn't count exactly how many. We didn't know how many tanks. I think we knew how many planes and helicopters because that was easier. Ukraine didn't have any military, didn't have an army in northern Ukraine. Right. So the Russians literally did just walk across the border. But Ukraine organized guerrillas, insurgency.
Yeah, right.
And they were all hiding in the bushes shooting javelins and Bayraktars,
This is what was happening, right?
Yeah. And
many pro-Russian people, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. Let's put it this way, think that this is the war between USA and Russia. So Ukraine is just the epicenter of proxy. Yeah. So it just happened to be in this shitty situation between America and Russia. So do you think they're right that this is the war between America and Russia? This is what many Russians say.
So if they say that, they could be partially correct because Russia fucked with us and now we're fucking with them. The U.S. always supports democracies and Ukraine is democracy. Did the U.S. do anything to stoke a war, or did we have any provocations? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't, right?
Because whatever weapons we gave to Ukraine before the war, because we did. We've been training soldiers here and we gave weapons.
Yeah, right.
Trump fucked that up for 4 years, but...
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So whatever we did was purely out of democracy. Ukraine said, oh, can we buy weapons from you? Will you come to this training base in Yavoriv? And the U.S. said, oh, sure. If the pro-Russians think that we started it, they're idiots. Because if we started it, the war would be over.
Yeah.
We would have destroyed Russia.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Now, is Ukraine a proxy now? Unfortunately, they are in the sense that, the U.S. is propping Ukraine with weapons and money.
But it's not America's goal is to destroy Russia,
No, our goal is never
helping us.
Our goal has never been to destroy any country. Not
You're
even
just helping us. So
you
can't consider Ukraine a proxy, I guess.
No, it's not. Technically, it is not. And it isn't. Just like Iran and North Korea, the proxies. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of. The world is. It's kind of like Cold War, but it's a warmer Cold War in a sense because the U.S. and Russia, even after the Soviet Union, we were never friends. Everybody in the U.S. knew Russia was still an enemy, but they were weak. They're not. Right. They're not like a peer.
So kind of like a bubble, So basically, right.
China is more of a
China,
peer.
of course. Yeah. More peeps.
They have more people.
More everything. Yes.
Yeah. They have a bigger navy. They have more Air Force planes.
Yes. All the aspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't USA giving Ukraine F16s and ATACAMS?
We have first off, we've given Ukraine ATACAMS, but
it's not enough, right?
Yeah, no, I know, but we've given Ukraine stuff through other countries. We're doing stuff we give it to another country, they give it to Ukraine. It's the type of thing to protect ourselves because US has certain laws. Biden can only do so much because if he loses the election, you see. So the F-16s are coming. The Ukrainians...
Yeah, they are, but it's not going to be enough.
It will help, though.
We need, at least, more than 100.
I can tell you, though, I think that the F-16s might have already been here a few times. They might have flown from Romania and, came back to Romania, but I can neither confirm nor deny. Ukraine has to fight using, it's called asymmetrical warfare. You train 10 guys really well, give them the best equipment, the best training.
They train other guys.
And and those 10 guys have lots of technology, kamikaze drones, surveillance drones, available artillery, airstrikes. It's called a force multiplier. So those 10 dudes are worth 150, regular dudes. So that's just what Ukraine has been training for now. Because Ukraine cannot beat Russia peer to peer. It's not possible.
Well, it's not possible, certainly,
The asymmetrical warfare, Ukraine's doing well at it right now.
Yeah, but you understand that if you gave us enough weapons. I'm talking about aviation and ATACAMS, right? So that would just end this war like within a couple of months.
I wouldn't say that, because the Russians still have the ability to shoot stuff down. You know, the only things that the Russians really can't shoot down or stop with electronic warfare is stealth bombers.
But we would just destroy their logistics, you know, especially in Crimea.
It's true, but even the Russians have gotten smarter. They're starting to hide their stuff.
Well, that's true as well, yes, but...
After the HIMARS came into play, dude, the Russians,
But their air defense is, you know, it's not that good, you know.
It's not that good, but it's
plus,
still...
ATACMS, this is ballistic, right? So...
Yeah, it's cruise missiles and stuff.
So if we have enough of them, we could free Crimea.
It's possible, but nothing is guaranteed. And the problem with those weapons is the U.S. and these other countries, we don't have as much stockpiles as people think. That shit's expensive. So
that's true, yes, that's true. But if you spend like a certain amount of money, right, on that type of weapon, you know, it could be like faster and easier for us to end this war.
It is, but it's politics. Okay, all wars are politics. In the U.S., the problem is we have a Congress that doesn't work well, and the Republicans they're not pro-Russian. Some of them, I think, are pro-Russian. Yeah. I think some of them are on the Russian pay scale. The Democrats have a package, including ammunition and other stuff, ATACMS, but the Republicans are blocking that because they want
of what?
The border. They're trying to say...
The border.
You know, they're trying to say there's a border crisis.
In Mexico.
There's no border crisis, okay?
That's I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the immigrants come to America and do jobs that Americans don't want to do. So
right, exactly. So I think this is all bullshit.
It is. It's politics.
Yes. Right.
It's just petty politics, okay? Yeah. And so Biden, as the president, he's actually using his executive authority. He's getting weapons from Ecuador, Greece, sending them to Ukraine.
Yeah, right.
And then those countries are buying weapons from the U.S.
So you want to say that Biden is doing his job 100%?
Yes. In the technical legal definition, as a president, he's doing as much as he can. The Republicans, they have no plans. Their party is dying, okay? So they want to make themselves seem relevant. I mean, the fact that Trump is running again just shows you how pathetic the Republicans are.
So you've been to Afghanistan, right?
Yes, twice.
Tell me about your experience there.
So when I first went to Afghanistan, the very first time, I remember I was scared. I was an 18-year-old private.
You were 19.
18.
18 years old.
I was 18-year-old private. And,
dude,
you know,
you were 18 years old.
Yes.
When you first came to Afghanistan.
Yeah. I turned 19 there, but I was 18.
Whatever, dude. You were a fucking teenager, yes.
Yes, I was
Did you see shit there?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So, you know,
dude.
my unit, so I was in this chosen company, 2nd Battalion, 503rd Parachute Infantry Regiment, 173rd Airborne Brigade.
Yeah.
And a lot of my sergeants had combat experience from the previous deployment to Afghanistan, and they were in this place called the Korangal Valley, which was the most dangerous place in Afghanistan. It was filled with people who hated Americans. They didn't even speak
Taliban?
They weren't even the Taliban, but also just local warlords.
Why do you think they hated America?
They just hated foreign people, okay? Because a lot of it stemmed from the Soviet Union invasion.
Yeah.
It was a crazy experience. I remember the first time that we took a helicopter from, you know, the main Air Force base, Bagram Air Force Base. We took it to our main FOB, which is a forward operating base. So when we went from Bagram Airfield to Jalalabad, the city in Afghanistan. And I actually got to fly in a Black Hawk helicopter. I didn't fly
in Black Hawk? Yeah. Oh shit, this is so beautiful helicopter, man.
So
this is awesome.
The rest of the platoon was in the Chinook, which is the big one. But I was in the Black Hawk, and my sergeants, they asked the door gunners to do a test fire. And so they rolled and they fired and then they fired.
And you were fucking 18.
Yeah, and I was, oh fuck, we're taking like the enemy's shooting at us. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, ah!
Dude, I would have dropped a fucking log, you know, if I like was 18-year-old dude, you know, in a fucking Black Hawk, you know, flying there.
They're fucking shooting the machine guns.
Dude, it's I don't know, man. It's so fucked up shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, and that deployment, I seen a lot of combat. You know, I seen people get blown up. I seen some dead bodies. I seen some really dead bodies from the enemy. Not that we killed, but A-10s, airstrikes, F16s, artillery, and Apaches, okay? We were doing a kind of a rescue mission for another group of guys. They were stuck in the mountains on foot, and we were mounted. So I was in a vehicle on a automatic grenade launcher, a Mark 19. They started shooting at us, and they were far away, but like not for my weapon, but like we were at the maximum range of effectiveness for, you know, shooting somebody. I shot up and down the mountain on the draws and spurs, and I could see my explosions, and they stopped firing. And then we had a couple of Apaches went in, did some attack gun runs, and they said that, you know, they saw a couple bodies or what was left. So the possibility that I killed somebody that day is very high. I shot an automatic grenade launcher, 40 millimeters. So, you know, I didn't think about it because a normal person, it's hard to fathom, but I did it because they out of self-defense. I'm not a murderer. So,
yeah, of course. This is the war, so...
Yeah, it's war.
I mean, yeah.
You know, it just was one of those things. I try not to think about it. But for me, I think it's harder to see your friends die than to kill somebody.
Well, 100%. I mean, I don't know, fuck if I know, but I think, that's you know, that's the hardest thing. What are your thoughts on Ukrainian warriors? You fought with them, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen them in action, so what are your thoughts on that?
They're very brave, Sometimes a little crazy, you know, but I fought with some really tough guys here that I will fight with again for sure.
Do you think now Ukrainian warriors are pretty much on the same level with NATO soldiers?
Not training and professionalism, unfortunately, no, but they have more combat experience. In terms of professionalism and modernization, Ukraine is kind of, they've lost a lot of good soldiers and
of course,
wounded.
yes.
And so there's some aspects of the military have become less professional, so because of attrition, right? So there's a lot of guys who've been fighting from the Donbass war, and they're not necessarily super good soldiers, but they're good at fighting. They're like brawlers, Like you put them in the trench, if a Russian comes, they'll kill him, And they'll do it multiple times. They're good for a certain purpose, but for when it comes to technical missions and assaults, they're not the best, So
why do you think so?
They're just not trained enough.
Trained enough, yes. Okay.
These are the type, some of these guys, they don't wear their hearing protection, so they can't hear.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't carry medical pouches, you know, they just brawlers, you know, like barbarians, which you need them in a sense, but you really want trained professional guys who have muscle memory, who can react. That's why Ukraine needs to, you know, when they do the next round of mobilization, I might become an instructor, but they have to train the soldiers to be perfect so they don't, Ukraine cannot take casualties, So for whatever Ukrainian soldiers that gets killed, the Russians need to lose at least 25, That's just because Ukraine doesn't have as many soldiers.
Ukrainian soldiers versus Russian occupants. Because many people think that they're weak and stuff.
They're crazy.
They're crazy.
They're savage, crazy, bloodthirsty killers, a lot of the Russian soldiers. So you also want those type of guys because Putin can't get normal people or even semi-normal crazy Russians to do this stuff. For instance, the Wagner guys. The Wagner guys, I don't know if they actually captured anybody. They killed a lot of prisoners. So those guys were given the green light to do whatever the hell they wanted. So
do you believe they are terrorists?
Oh, the Wagner guys?
Yes.
Oh, those guys are freaking, they're not real soldiers. They're just bloodthirsty mercenaries. Putin wants more of those.
But not all of them like this, you know?
No, not all of them. The regular Russian soldiers, they don't want to fight. They give up. They surrender.
Yeah, they work in the fucking IT, you know, and they just want to leave Russia and, you know, if they're lucky enough, they can do this.
A lot of them are sitting in prisoner of war camps in Ukraine, and they're getting 3 meals a day and they're not getting abused. So why do they want to go back? If you ask a Russian prisoner of war here, if he wants to get traded for Ukrainians and go back to Russia, he's going to tell you no. Because they're going to send him right back to the front lines.
What happens if Trump is the president?
If Trump gets elected somehow, I think it's a long shot because Trump is very weak this time around. If Trump was to get elected, it would be very bad for Ukraine.
In terms of what?
I can guarantee you that Ukraine would lose the war. 100%. Putin would use Trump to put some puppet in power in Ukraine, another Yanukovych.
Don't you think that Trump is more radical than Biden, for example? And all this stuff that he's saying now is just because he wants to be elected.
Yes, Trump is a very sick person. He's mentally ill, If you look at him compared to the last time he ran in the primary in the very first election in 2016, I thought it was funny. He was saying some funny shit, but then I started realizing... His hair
is funny,
Yeah, I started realizing that he might get elected. And then I started thinking, this is not good. You can't say that stuff. He's talking about saying Mexicans are rapists and murderers. He actually fucked over a lot of people, you know, and he didn't pass the stuff he said. He wasted a lot of money on the border. But this time around, he's very ill, okay? He doesn't look well. He doesn't talk well. He's not healthy. He might do some really bad shit in the country. I don't think he's going to get elected, but there is a small chance, you know, because...
Who do you think is going to be elected?
I think it'll be Biden again. If Nikki Haley can beat Trump in the primary, then maybe she'll beat Biden. But I think as it is right now, Trump is not getting any new voters. He's just getting the same voters. And last time around, he lost by 7 million votes.
Okay.
So Biden will get more young voters, black voters, women voters, Mexican, Hispanic voters. So I just don't think that Trump has any chance against Biden.
Why is it so fucking different? You know, like Republicans are, you know, they're so different. Some of them are pro-Ukrainian, you know, some of them are pro-Russian. So they're not like, you know, like one unit.
No, they're not. The Republican Party is not what it used to be. It used to be a respectable party, like even like Dwight Eisenhower, even Reagan. I don't like Reagan, but it was an okay party. Yeah. We had Republicans like John McCain, who, you know, all Ukrainians know. But the new Republican Party is full of cowards and traitors. They use fringe issues like guns, abortion, the border to trick people to vote for them.
Okay.
But the reality is the Republicans have no plan. You can say what you want, but the Democrats get shit done, okay? Even Biden, he's got a lot of shit done in his presidency. Trump didn't get much done.
What are your thoughts on Zelensky?
I think Zelensky is a cool guy. I think that he stayed, you know, he could have left, but he stayed. He said, send weapons, don't send your helicopters and your Navy SEALs to rescue me. He's been doing a decent job, but I think that at this point, he's not effective anymore. He's a people pleaser, and he doesn't want to do the hard things. So it's about time for him to step down, I think. You know, he's tired. His wife is tired.
Well, he's probably, yes. I mean, he looks like he's tired, you know.
Yeah, he looks like shit.
And
okay?
and that's obvious, and that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, he's had people that were corrupt in his own party. He even one of his deputies now. It's like, why is he still there? He should be arrested.
Don't you think, like, his circle, you know, his ring is fucked up?
It is. The reason why it's like this is because he knows that he can trust them and they can get most work done, okay?
Okay.
So if you fire everybody and you have to hire completely brand new people during a war, it's going to make your life a pain, you know? It's going to be hell. So I understand why he kept Reznikov, okay? But Reznikov had to go, all right? Okay. Now, was Reznikov directly corrupt? No, but his deputies were very corrupt. And Reznikov chose to keep them. So, guilty by association. Is Zelensky corrupt? I don't think so. But has he done enough in 2 years? No.
No.
For sure. Ukraine, the government doesn't have a plan. Okay? Like, the government's been planning for 2 or 3 months at a time.
Maybe they just don't want to have a plan. That's the problem, you know?
That is a problem.
That is a fucking problem.
If Ukraine would have had a plan 2 years ago, the war would be going much differently, even without the ammo and the ATACAMS. Ukraine has to be a unified front, even the people. If you're not helping the military, you're not donating money, you're not volunteering or in the army, you're not doing enough.
So please donate money, guys, because this is fucking important.
Yeah, if you have
even
money,
foreigners donate money. So I mean, the more money we donate, the more Russians are going to be, you know, in rest in peace.
I've been here for 20 months now, and I've met a lot of people here, Ukrainians, who I don't like. Okay, like I don't like. They live at nice. They go to the nice bars, clubs. They're always on Instagram. They're traveling.
Yeah.
What do you do for the country? And then they try to say,
the question, right?
I spend money on the local economy. That's not enough.
Well, it's not going to help in a way because our economy is fucked up already. You know. So I mean, globally. It's not going to help.
No.
Right.
I'm not trying to call people out, okay? Because I do call people out all the time because I have a lot of skin in the game, okay?
Yeah.
And so you're either all the way in or you're not.
Exactly.
Okay? There's no in between anymore. People thought the war would be over at the very beginning. People were saying Crimea by summer because of the propaganda, the government. But Ukrainians, as an individual, by donating and then the military buying FPV drones or reconnaissance drones, helmets, body armor, thermal sniper scopes.
Yeah.
You make a difference. Donate your money. Right? Like there's no future. There's no future until the war is over. So be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay? Like if you had to spend all your money and you have nothing left but Ukraine wins, would you rather be broke and Ukraine wins, or would you rather have all this money and the Russians win and there's a puppet government in Kyiv and you have to live under Russian occupation for the rest of your life? It's that simple. Okay, so people need to ask themselves that.
Main problems in the Ukrainian army, like one or two, in a nutshell, you know. So
it's professionalism, because Ukraine has lost a lot of.
What does it depend on?
Training. The training here is just a joke. A lot of guys sit in the forest. They don't get fed well. They don't have enough ammunition to shoot practice rounds. They run around and do weird Soviet shit, and I see it, and I'm like, they're like, come train us, and I'm like, I would, but your commanders are gonna tell me, oh, we're not gonna do that, or oh, that's not the right way. But the truth is, it is. I've been to 2 wars.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a professional soldier, and I know exactly what to do to survive here. Okay.
What is the, like, let's say, decent amount of time you need to spend for training as a soldier?
Well, the U.S., you go to basic training for 3 months. Okay, 3 months. That just turns you into a basic bitch soldier. Okay.
3 months.
Yeah.
Cause if I was drafted now, you know, I know fucking nothing about, you know, assault rifles and stuff. So I don't know what to do with this, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like 2 weeks, like even 1 month is not enough.
No.
So
you need 3 months, and that just makes you a soldier. Then you have to go to your advanced individual training for your military specialty.
Well, you got individual trainings.
Yes, the trench warfare is like, it's tough. It's like city fighting. There's so many angles they can be hiding, and if you don't train correctly, one guy in a trench can kill 5 guys.
You know.
You have to clear the whole trench, because if 2 Russian soldiers are left behind, they could kill 10 Ukrainians. It takes a lot of drill, okay, routine, muscle memory. So the new conscripts that they want to draft, they need to be trained properly. You can't just give them 2 weeks training and send them to the front line. Ukraine did this.
Nothing, you know?
Yeah, Ukraine did this, and all those guys got killed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fight with somebody like that.
Fair
because
enough.
They're going to get me killed.
Fair and square, yes.
Yeah. Am I going to get them killed? No, because I'm a professional soldier. Are they going to get me killed? So you see, I have trust issues. That's why I'm not in the military anymore.
Yeah, this is what you have to have. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, especially during the war.
The Ukrainian military doesn't have a central training command. Each brigade is like its own army. So Ukraine doesn't have a central, like in the US, everybody gets the same training. It doesn't matter what position. If you go to basic training and individual job training, you get the same training as every soldier in the rest of our military. Here, if you're in Azov or something like that, you're getting good training. Okay, but if you're in some conscription unit, conscripted, mobilized unit, you are not getting good training.
Yes, it's shitty, yes.
They're going to give you an AK, some shitty helmet, and some shitty body armor.
And that's all right. Yeah.
They want to mobilize 500,000 soldiers.
What are your thoughts on this?
So they have to. But if you cannot guarantee them pay,
good training,
food, and good training, why would anybody want to do that? Before, you know, when they had the counteroffensive, a lot of soldiers volunteered, but they got sent to Europe, so they did get that. Okay, so if they know that they're going to Europe, they'll join, because they know they're going to get good training. Plus, the European countries actually give them gear, so when they come back, they're like loaded with all sorts of cool tactical gear. If you're not guaranteed that, why would somebody want to fight when they know that it's the same as the Soviet Union in World War II? They just gave them a gun and told them to charge. When you conscript 500,000 soldiers, those are civilians, so you have to train them.
How long have you been here?
I've been here a total of 20 months. I'm all in for the cause, and I know if I leave, I may never come back, and then I'll feel bad about it. So
would you like to stay and live here in Ukraine?
Maybe in the future. I like Ukraine. Ukraine reminds me of a young U.S. Ukraine's a young democracy.
U.S. in the 90s, right?
No, more like the U.S. in the 1800s.
Okay, 1800s.
The Wild West. Because Ukraine...
Whatever you say, sir.
Yeah, Ukraine, you can get away with a lot of stuff that you can't get away with in the U.S., but you could get away with in the 1800s. It has a long way to go, okay? Ukraine is not necessarily EU-worthy yet, but Ukraine is... It's a good country full of good people. Yeah. And most normal people here want things to change, and they want Ukraine to become a better country, and they want Ukraine to completely cut all relations with Russia.
You hear Russian language here, yes. So, for example, like mothers speak Russian with their kids. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, it drives me crazy.
Is it weird? I mean, is it?
Before the war, you know, it wasn't as weird. But since the Donbass war, people should have stopped speaking Russian since 2014. But even since 2022, like, people really should speak Ukrainian or English or something else, Polish. To me, it drives me crazy because I think of the enemy that killed my friends was speaking that same language. It's just laziness. Ukrainians know Ukrainian, and even if their Ukrainian is not super good, it will take them 2 seconds to learn it. It's not so hard to learn that type of, it's not like you're switching to French or Chinese or
it's
something.
like the fact is that many Ukrainians learn English.
Yeah.
Which is not our native language, right? But we do that because we want a better future, a job promotion and stuff. But when it comes to Ukrainian, some Ukrainians are like, oh, fuck, it's so difficult for me to switch, What a fucking bullshit, Just go bullshit. Fuck yourself,
It's laziness.
It's fucking laziness, right?
It is.
What's your favorite Ukrainian food?
My favorite Ukrainian dish is probably, I'd say, salo. Salo-y khlyb with
dark
chestnut.
Chestnut?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Ukrainian word?
Let's see. Honestly, probably podorozhuvati.
Okay, it sounds in a mysterious way to you, or what?
It just, the way that it rolls off my tongue, that or обережно, двері зачиняються. Caution, doors are closing. It took me about a year to be able to say that.
What is your favorite curse word in Ukrainian?
Let's see. Probably blin. Blin or
just blin?
Or maybe dobisa. Or yibat. Yibat. Yibat! Yeah.
Okay. Because again, it sounds crazy to your ears.
Yeah.
McDonald's, where is it better? In USA or Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Why is that?
The Ukrainian McDonald's is fresher, better ingredients. The presentation is good. I've never had...
Presentation?
Yeah, I've never had my burger cockeyed. In America, sometimes it'll be like cockeyed.
Okay.
Or the fries will be soggy or something. I have never had bad McDonald's here. And every time I ordered, I got what I wanted. The taste was what I wanted.
Something that you like about USA but don't like about Ukraine and vice versa. Something that you like about Ukraine but don't like about USA.
I would probably have to say the US, we have better... We have like Amazon.
Yeah, okay.
We have Amazon, same-day delivery. And also we have like 24/7. I know it's
because of curfew and stuff.
But even before the curfew, I know you guys don't have stuff like Walmart or fast food or
You mean 24/7?
Yeah, like gas stations.
No, I think we did.
Not as much.
Maybe
the U.S. It's like everywhere. There's always a gas station. The U.S. is it's more convenient. Okay.
What do you mean a gas station? Like, I mean, before the war. The full-scale invasion, you can go to gas station even
now. But they're
now.
usually far, and they're not 24/7, a lot of them. So.
Well, but now they are 24/7, like they were 24/7.
I just say...
If you have like this special ticket, so you can go there and,
America is just more convenient. Everything is Amazon, everything.
All right.
It's just convenient, okay? And then the thing that I like more about Ukraine is Ukraine has... easier banking system, a better banking system. And
in terms of what?
It's just the app is better. It's easier to transfer money. Yeah. Like
it's faster.
It's quicker.
It's quicker, faster, whatever. Yes.
And also, Ukraine has much healthier food in general. Even when you eat street food, like it's still healthier. Even shawarma. Shawarma is not. People say it's greasy.
But it's if it's cooked right, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It's cooked on the
there's
on
veggies,
the fire. Yeah, there's vegetables.
Yeah.
I feel better. My skin looks nicer. Because the food is healthier.
Okay. Is Ukraine cleaner than USA?
No. For sure not.
You motherfucker. What the fuck, man?
The U.S. is one of the cleanest countries in the world because we have something called the FDA.
Unless you go to fucking ghetto in U.S., there is fucking trash everywhere.
Some places,
drug addicts,
Some places, but overall, in general, the U.S. is much cleaner. Because I've been to many cities here, and Ukraine is not the cleanest European city by any means.
Well, Kyiv is not the cleanest.
No, I like Kyiv, but I've been here long enough to know that Kyiv definitely has its issues.
Have you been to Troieshchyna?
Yeah.
Yeah? why the fuck would you be there?
Troieshchyna is not that bad, actually.
Well, now yes,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
not-
let's say 10 years ago, you know.
Yeah. From what people have told me, but I've been to Troieshchyna 3 times now, and the food's cheaper. The people are normal. I was looking
Right.
for Hopniks.
You
I didn't find it.
all foreigners, you know, are looking for fucking hopniks.
Yeah, let's take a picture with them. You know, a selfie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's cheap there too. I would live there if I had a car. I would
well,
live there.
only if you have a car.
Yeah.
Because in the morning it's fucking, you know, there is no fucking metro, you know.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah, thanking to, you know, our mayor and in general, yes.
Oh, him.
Yeah, thanks for not, you know, building metro in Troieshchyna.
Let's not talk about him.
Yeah, man. All right, who are more friendly, let's say, Americans or Ukrainians? Well, since we were talking about you and...
It depends on the situation, okay? Because
Well, in general.
Americans can be more social, but Ukrainians can be more friendly, if you understand that.
I think I do.
So Americans sometimes want to talk too much. You're at the grocery store, an older lady or older man, you know, or a middle-aged woman who talks to kids all day.
Okay.
They see a handsome devil like me and they want to talk to me, and I'm like, I have to go, but I'm too nice to tell people to fuck off. So, but here, people in general are nicer people. They're more kind. They're more hospitable.
Nicer, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For sure. I've been to many Ukrainian villages. I've been to the cities, and people here are almost too nice, and it's awkward for me because I'm not used to it. You know, the babusha in the village. She's like, come eat food, you know,
yeah,
come and hang out,
yes,
you know,
right.
and she's like trying to help
Villages are this is like another world, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
just another world,
you. Yeah, they're better in many ways than the big city, you know, because the big city can be fast, people can be assholes, but in general, Ukrainian people are definitely nicer and more kind, but Americans are more social.
All right, 2 more questions. Ukrainian women versus American women.
Easy answer. Ukrainian women.
Why is that?
Give
me at least 2 reasons why.
Number 1, they're better looking. Okay, they are naturally very beautiful. That's why a lot of them can do modeling, because they have long legs, beautiful face, nice proportions. They take care of themselves. They're very hygienic. I've never, of all Ukrainian women that I've been with, I've never smelt a stinky one.
Well, good for you, man.
Which even
that's what Borat, you know, would say, a great success.
Great success.
Great success.
This is my cousin. She is
A little
Kazakhstan.
bit of a smile, pussycat.
It's going to be hard for me to go back to American women because I will never get the same quality.
Well, good for you, Ukrainian ladies. Keep it up. All right, the last one. What would you improve in Ukraine? A couple of things.
Infrastructure, roads, bridges, housing complexes, you know, get rid of these ugly Soviet buildings, okay? Like, make things more modern, you know, and...
brighter.
Yes, brighter colors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice buildings here, okay? But it just...
Yeah, but at the same time, there's so many fucking shitty, gray, you know, Soviet... I just, you know, I get there and fuck, man, I want to cry, you know? It's so fucking sad, you know?
It's very
make
bland.
me sad.
The thing is, a lot of them were built in the 90s,
yes. Well, 90s is not bad, dude.
No, I know, but even some
of like fucking 50s, 60s. What else?
The corruption.
Okay.
Fix the corruption and then just rework how universities, schools, you know...
Yeah, education system in general.
Yeah, Ukraine is a young democracy, and they're having their growing pains, okay? Especially now, because now they're realizing they don't want anything to do with Russia. Okay. So that's a whole nother headache. But people here want to be like EU countries. EU countries are very normal. They, you know, that's why tourism is high. That's why the European Union is a strong alliance. The EU is worth a lot of money. After Brexit, the British found out that was a mistake.
Do you think that it was a mistake?
Oh, yeah. To get a freaking pint of beer is like 8 to 10 pounds now. An English breakfast, 18 to 20 pounds for a good English breakfast.
That's crazy.
Ukraine is getting better. The mentality of younger Ukrainians is good, and a lot of them are Western. They know English. You know, they want to celebrate Christmas on the 25th.
Now we do.
Yeah.
Now we do, right?
It's not that you have to be like all the Western countries. You can still be unique. But there's a difference between Western thinking and the rest, okay? Like, Russia is part of the rest, right?
Well,
like,
of course.
You know, there's a lot of countries like that. They're not progressive. They're not thinking about the future, technology, innovation, women's rights, you know, paying people a living wage.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's the future is bright for Ukraine. If they win the war and Ukraine is able to fix the corruption, the future is very bright.
Of course, technically, it is, but still, we have to work on ourselves, our thinking, you know, and we gotta fucking do something, you know.
Yeah, people here have to get over the past. They have to stop with some of the mentality, the Soviet Union mentality. You can still be Ukrainian. You can still wear your Vyshyvanka, eat borscht, speak Ukrainian, but there's certain aspects about the modern world that you have to evolve into. Okay, like everybody needs to. Russia and all these other countries need to too, but unfortunately, their governments are fucked up. Okay, and so they won't unless we actually go in and destroy them. I hope that doesn't come down to that, because you know, in World War III, to go in and a lot of people will die. Maybe it's better that the Russians just have a revolution and kill their president.
Well, that would be perfect. What would you say to the audience in there?
I would say, keep up the fight, don't give up, and learn English.
Great. Thank you for coming here, for speaking here, and for supporting Ukraine and for fighting against Russians. This is important.
It is. Slava Ukraini.
Glory to America as well. And
Slava Javelina.
Exactly.
Smert Verahom.
Exactly. Smert Verahom, right?
Yeah, Verahom, yeah.
Yeah.
Death to the enemy.
Exactly. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening.